Welcome back to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. This is ExtraTyne, your week at a glance at Newcastle United. As ever, I am joined by my co-host Laura.
Hello, you alright?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good, good. And as it's a Dreamboat special, we've got two Dreamboats here. We have the Dreamboat Pete.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Tidied my room special for you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just moved all of the pants and rubbish out shot. So good. After that woman on the telly was found with a sex toy on her leg, I was very careful to decide everything.
Make sure that everything's out the way. And we're also joined by Dreamboat Paddy. How's it going, Paddy?
Very well, thank you very much.
Good to have you here. So we're going to have a quick look at the last week. It's been the same as the week before, and the week before, and the week before. Nothing's changed. We're still shit. We lost 2-0 to Villa on Saturday. We lost 2-1 to Leeds on Monday, Tuesday, whatever it was. I don't know. The days blend into one. We're gonna let's look at something a little bit positive. Let's not be downbeat. The second half at Leeds on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? I'm saying Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like Laura, I'll come to you. Does the positivity in the second half change anything for you?
In a word, no. So, when you said we're going to start off positive, I was like, oh, let's look at me notes. Is there anything positive?
No, I've not really got anything.
No, but after 454 minutes, I think it was, we eventually scored. And I think I was happy with the last 20 minutes, I'm not going to lie. It was nice to watch. It was nice to see a bit of fight, a bit of passion. However, I feel like the players initiated it entirely. I think Bruce had nothing to do with that, if I'm honest, or else it would have happened straight away after 45 minutes. So it didn't. It took till about 54, I think.
Yeah.
And it took for, I think, looking at it from my point of view, in my opinion, it was more like frustration. Like Shaw was just taking it upon himself to go on runs through the middle, and it was Lascelles was the one that actually pressed high up and made that tackle to win the ball. And I just thought it was a bit more positive. However, we're all said we want a team that tries, we want a team that fights, but I think we would have accepted that in the first few games of the season when there was time to change it, time to scrape results. However, it's too late now. We're in a relegation battle. It's too late for that. It was no points at the end of the day. Yeah, we can say, oh, it was good for 10 minutes. I've seen this, I've seen that. And Bruce would have been over the moon because he had something positive to talk about after. But at the end of the day, it was no points. So
absolutely. Paddy, did you, when you saw the change in the second half and like the change in the tempo of the game and how we approach the game, do you think that was down to the players like playing for their lives almost, rather than down to a Steve Bruce masterclass at halftime?
Yeah, I think so. I think, they say it's a game of two halves, and it definitely was.
Yeah.
The way they came out in the second half, they did look better. But from the start, you look at the way they're set up, and you've got players playing out of position again. You've got two right backs on the bench, and you've got a lad who plays midfield playing right back, and you think, I just didn't get it. But again, they've got that little bit of positivity, and they'll take that on board, and they will be happier with that.
Yeah, it would be nice to build on it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Was it good? Yeah, maybe it was, but again, another defeat.
Well, exactly, that's it. Pete, did you see any of the games last week?
Yeah, I mean, did I see any of the games? Yeah, I think I watched every one, but they just all seemed to sort of blur into one disorganised mess, didn't they? But I mean, look, against Leeds, you're always going to get chances. They've got a patched up back line that they can't seem to keep players fit, and I don't think they ever have had their first choices in defence for Leeds. So you're in a situation where you are going to get chances, and if Leeds don't take their chances, you've got a good chance of winning. They took their chances, and Newcastle are back where they were, at the start of the match, quite frankly. And look, you got Saint-Maximin coming on after his long COVID absence and stuff. And more than anything else, he's a nuisance, and he's going to distract people, and he's going to pull focus from other players that you've got. So you're probably going to get a chance or two, and it's no more than Newcastle deserve. But I don't know, man. I wasn't that confident, or I wasn't that happy with how it all panned out in that match. Obviously, like NUFC.com is my kind of Bible. It's everybody reads Niall and Biffa, but even they were like sort of saying that it was a decent second half, or partly a decent second half, and I was just like, I was watching a different game because I saw flashes, but you're always going to get chances against Leeds, and yeah, it just didn't look great. It still didn't look great. We don't need green shoots right now. We need tree trunks to get us out.
Yeah,
because we're only going in one direction.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we've been on a bad run. Chelsea were all not on as bad as us. Chelsea were on a bit of a bad run, and they took action and they sacked Frank Lampard. We appoint someone to hold Steve Bruce's hand. Laura, what can you make any sense of the Graham Jones appointment? Because to me, I don't see the point, to be honest with you. But
when I heard it, I was a bit, is embarrassed the word? I was embarrassed for Bruce that we needed somebody to come in and help him. Like Bruce was saying he was all for it, but would you be? I mean, if somebody said to me, we're getting another teacher in to come and teach your class and tell you how to teach your class, I'd be absolutely fuming.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
No, but I mean, I'm going to try and be a little bit positive, and I think I've listened to his interviews this week. He comes across really well. He's from up here. He's worked along Martinez, who I think is a really good manager. So hopefully, from what he said, when he said about the style of play, I don't think he's going to be frightened to change it, and be honest, and only time will tell, and we'll just have to see on Saturday if he changes it. But I think there's a lot of pressure on him, because everything that happens now, we're going to be like, was it Jones? Was it Bruce? What's happening? Who was that? Who made that decision?
I mean, I don't, Paddy, I don't know if you know much about him. Personally, I don't. I've had a quick look through tweets from fans of teams that he's been at previously. So I think he was at Luton, and I saw some tweets from fans from Luton just saying like he's got no personality, he's got no idea what he's doing, and what they were saying was it seemed very similar to Bruce. So Paddy, do you feel, have we just brought in like a Bruce Mark II, like, so it's just someone to kind of stand alongside him and basically say yes, he's right?
Well, it was funny because I didn't know nothing about him. I seen his name and he was from Gateshead, and I thought, brilliant. Looked into it, where he was from, brilliant. Spoke today to an ex-Newcastle player who used to be under him somewhere else, and he said he's a great guy, great coach. He can't walk into that place and boss them around because it demands the other coaches.
Yeah.
But he will get them going and get their confidence back, and he will get them playing better football. He's a great coach. Ben Dawson's one of the most qualified coaches in England, and he's brilliant. Having 5 people, I think, has he got 4 coaches now? I think
something like that,
will help. But this guy cannot walk in. He's not going to be like Pep, walk in tomorrow and everything changes. It's going to take time. And the guy who's trained with him says he's brilliant, and it's a great thing. But has it been brought over Steve's head, or has he been brought in for Steve?
Yeah, sure. That's the thing, isn't it? Steve Bruce is obviously he kind of has to come out and say that he's okay with it. He can't stand in a press conference and be like, "Who's brought him in? Who's done this?" Do you know what I mean? But it's.
I think we all know in that club things change very quickly, and it comes in the bomb, and they have to get on with it. Happens all the time. It's happened for all the years.
Yeah,
Bruce has said on more than one occasion that he won't walk away from this challenge, even though he's walked away from like 7 out of his 15 clubs that he's managed. I get the feeling that this is Bruce's last big payday. He's a very limited manager. I think he'll leave sooner rather than later, and Ashley probably doesn't want to fire him. What's the cheaper option than having to pay a load of money out is to put a local coach who wants to work for Newcastle United for limited funds, and just keep putting people.
Mhm.
It's like a Pez dispenser. Keep putting bricks
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
of the Pez dispenser, and at one point Bruce will come out the top. So yeah, it strikes me as being turning the screw on Bruce a little bit, and because he has walked quite a lot, and that would save Newcastle United a lot of money. Maybe it's that, because I don't see that as being a massive sea change. Like you're saying, he's not Pep Guardiola, is he? Whoever he is.
No, he's not. I think I get the impression. This is from just what I've read about him, but I get the impression that he's just another Bruce. To be honest, he's got the same kind of tactics, same kind of mentality, same. So, but like you say, time will tell. So we'll just see what happens.
What the lad said today was he'll bring back standards. I thought that's a great thing. Bring back standards. But we've lost, and this is a player who played for Newcastle, and we worked with him, and you think he's been watching Newcastle and going, what they're doing?
Yeah,
right? That professional footballer to tell us this, still watching the games, going, what's happening? It's a simple thing, as we all know, but when other footballers watch it and go, just simple standards.
That it would be nice to have standards again, wouldn't it? I've almost forgotten what they were like. Transfer news. I mean, it's a transfer window. I think we've got 4 days. What day is it? Thursday. 4 days left of the transfer window. Couple of rumours about outgoings, incoming. We have rumoured to sign Chowdhury, which a lot of people are not happy about because of a horror tackle on Richie many moons ago. Laura, does that make any difference to you whatsoever?
Well, I didn't know much about him. I didn't even know it was him that made that challenge until I looked him up today, and I was just reading things about him from Leicester, and what I have read is he's an energetic centre mid, so I hope more than Hendrick, so maybe it would change it slightly. He's got a point to prove. He's still young. He's only 24,
Yeah,
but
he is, yeah.
maybe I wrote down, I know it's quite sad, but maybe he could, if it does come, he could, as much as Rafa said we're not, he could use us as a stepping stone. He still wants to play for England. Maybe he's got a point to prove, if you like, but
want some game time.
Yeah, game time. But
yeah,
I still, at the minute, and we had this discussion in my January transfer podcast, any change would make me happy at the minute. Anything different, just
in terms of incomings, I think. Rumoured to be going out. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. I did see earlier Yedlin has apparently agreed a deal with, I think it was like Galatasaray or something like that. Whether or not that actually anything comes of it, I'm not sure. Apparently Richie's on his way out as well, but as with everything else, time will tell. There's Willems, or however you pronounce that. He's also rumoured to be coming back, but I think that's more on his part than anyone else's, because I think he's just absolutely desperate. I don't know why. I don't think he's very well, because he just wants to come back, and it's that God knows why. But yeah, so that's the last week. Let's just move on, because it's depressing. I'm sick of talking about it. Right, so as I said earlier, it's the Dreamboat special. It was the one and only David Ginola's birthday on Monday. So as a little tribute to him, we've decided that we're going to make our Dreamboat 11. We went out to Twitter for this and asked our followers to give us some ideas of who they would include as well. So we're going to try and make, I don't know how well this is going to go down. We're going to try and make a starting 11 of handsome lads who've played for Newcastle. So, well, we had quite a lot of suggestions, mind, so I think people were quite keen for it. But we'll start in goal. Laura, I'll come to you first. Who have you got in goal?
Well, I think I took this week a bit too seriously. I don't know. I feel I was made for this week was made for me. But I even went a step further. I've got a manager. So
I've got a manager, but he's got a question mark next to him.
Well, I think I might get shot with shit for this, but I'm gonna go Pardew. I quite like a older, cocky bit of an arse, so I went for Pardew. But in goal, I went for Shea Given. just, I think as well, I went too far because I've given reasons for everything as well. But like, I think I'm using it as like a dating app. I think because I went with like traits that I think they might have.
I
So
can't wait for you to pull the flip chart out.
so I've gone for Given because I think he was dead loyal and dead nice.
Yeah,
Oh.
Given was a bit of a handsome lad. Like,
Mhm.
Paddy, who did you have? Or
I went for Darlow.
Darlow. We
Yeah.
had quite a lot of suggestions for Darlow as well. Yeah.
Nearly went
Pete,
for Shea, but Darlow just gets it.
yeah. Pete, who are you thinking?
I mean, yeah, I guess we've never really had keeper problems for decades. We've never had problems with it. We've always had decent keepers because we always had a million of them. But I was thinking, do you remember Lionel Perez? Do you
Yeah,
remember the Sunderland keeper with like long, kind of
fantastic hair.
tousled, kind of beautiful hair? I don't even think he kicked a ball in anger for Newcastle or even saved one. But he was certainly on the books for a short period of time. So I thought I'd go for him just to mix it up a little bit, and he'll be about 50
Oh,
odd now.
oh,
So.
I've just knocked my light down.
Oh, we bought lights, didn't we? Unbelievable.
Must have been Perez. But not that Perez.
Oh, God.
I'm having a cup of tea. Unbelievable.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
back. I'm back. I've gone for Pav. But I'm saying I have. I took mine from Twitter. So when we went out with Twitter, I've basically just made mine from suggestions that we had from people on Twitter. So this is kind of the people's dreamboat 11, if you like. And in goal we've got Pav. So I think Pav was handsome. Pav aged well as well. I think like he got
when he came back. Oh man, yeah.
he got
glow up from Pavel Sanachek, wasn't it?
yeah, like he was a proper glow up. He was very handsome, very, very handsome. There's a picture of I think it's Bestie actually. When Bestie and Taylor met him, I don't know if it was for the film or if they went to a book signing or what have you. But Pav looks lovely in that photo. Right, we'll go for our defence rather than going because I don't know if you have been like unlike Steve Bruce and used tactics and gone for like different formations and what have you. So rather than saying who's your left back, who's your this, who's your that, I'll just come to you, Laura, and I'll ask who is in defence.
Well, I'm protesting against 5 at the back and I'm only choosing 3. So I've gone for Shaw for the obvious reasons. Warren Barton, not Joey, for the hair. In Dummy, just because he's a local lad and I've got a soft spot for him and I like him.
We're going to get that mentioned every week. Me and Laura we've got a little soft spot for Dummy. We'll just find a way to worm him into the podcast every week. Paddy, who did you have at the back?
I went for Warren Barton, centre Parton. Even Taylor, because he thinks he's a dreamboat. David Edgar, because he's definitely got better in age, I think.
Yeah.
That's a good one, yeah.
And I'm going to go for a false number 3 with Shaw, playing on the left for us. Because Shaw's he's good looking lad.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Shaw. I think Shaw's would be in everyone's, and he is in mine in the people's 11. But the hair,
He's changed his hair now. It's like.
I feel Bruce has not only ruined him as a footballer, but he's gone down in looks as well. Like with Rafa, he was beautiful, and the hair, and now, I'm just not a fan. Even though he still is in 4 previous years.
He's done the opposite of Pav and had whatever the opposite of a glow up is.
It's called an Elias
Laura.
Newcastle, you just got a fringe like that immediately.
Peter, would you have at the back?
I mean, look, it wasn't a great player for Newcastle. I think he only played like 6 matches. Sol Campbell, he's literally a model. He literally did a bit of modelling. So look, you got to go. David Santon.
I don't think we had anyone say him.
So he wasn't.
He got dropped on mine.
He didn't look great, but he when he went on international duty, he had a different. He would always get like the line, like the Italian kind of line, put in his hair and stuff.
Yeah,
really smart. And the Italy kits always look great on any man. So yeah, I was going to go for him at the back. And I kind of run out of state. I didn't realise I had to do 11, so I've only got 2 in defence.
That's fine. That's fine.
Ramon Jonas went back. I'll put him back. Perfect.
So in the People's 11, we had Shaw, obviously. We had Danny Simpson, and we had I don't agree with this. Daryl Janmaat. I can't.
One for the mothers.
I can't.
Sexy, punching walls.
That's what you would do. He's I never saw that. I don't know. And I wish I'd wrote down who said it actually, so I could kind of call them out, because I don't know where that's come from. But but it's yeah, it's under a faceless account. That Daryl Janmaat handsome, isn't he? But yeah, that was who I had who the people had at the back. But I do think Shaw would be in everyone's, to be honest. And Danny Simpson as well.
Yeah.
That was. I kind of forget he even played for us, because it and he was such a key player as well. But I'd forget that he was ever even a thing.
I think he's out of club at the moment. I think he left Leicester obviously and moved on to a couple of places, and now I think he's training at St George's Park. So
yeah, I've seen that on Instagram.
Oh well, come back if you want. Moving up the field into midfield, Laura, who do you have in the middle?
I've got Sir Les Ferdinand, because again, I'm going with my reasons. I think he was a very trustworthy man, and when I used to go to the training ground when I was little, him and Ginola and Shearer, they were all just really nice men and just dead polite and always had time for you and would sign autographs, and I've got my photo took with all of them. They're just really nice. So I've gone with Ferdinand, Ginola for obvious reasons, Robert as well, because not even just because of when he played for us, but I just want his lifestyle now. I watch
my God.
I just want to, yeah.
His Instagram is just a sight to behold. Like, it's absolutely incredible. All he does is eat and drink.
And I think I'd be perfect.
But he's not just like eating like beans on toast. He's when he's eating, it's like all this like big extravagant. It's just amazing. Like I would never unfollow him, but like there's times when I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to mute you, because like I'm sat in Bensham, locked in the house, can't even go to me mum's for a cuppa, and you're drinking champagne on the coast. Like, it's not fair.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then obviously Kabai, because he was the ultimate where the word came from, dreamboat. And yes. I don't know, I'm not good, I can't remember, but Kennedy, I was always a massive fan of Kennedy. So yeah, I've gone for Kennedy. And then I didn't know if we were allowed, but you know when like you're married and you're allowed a hall pass for like someone from a different team. I've gone for like David Beckham, just because I love him.
An honourable mention.
Yeah, so he's my captain. He's my hall pass.
Can you remember years and years ago when you can remember on Ant and Deck on Saturday Night Takeaway when they used to have Little Ant and Deck?
Yeah.
And Little Ant and Deck interviewed Victoria Beckham and made us sign a contract to say that Brooklyn would play for Newcastle when he was over. So technically, I mean, you can get him in there somehow.
Yeah, I watched him at St James's for England, so he has been there.
Oh, that's all that matters. I mean, count him in. Paddy, who did you have in the middle?
I went for Gary Speed. Has to be a total dreamboat.
Yeah, very handsome
man. And Johan Kabay, obviously. Left-hand side, it's got to be Ginola. And right-hand side, Alan Smith.
Oh, he's in me subs.
Girls loved him back in the day. Like a Backstreet Boys kind of look, and that.
Yeah, the blonde. Yeah.
Time he was the guy, really.
To be fair, like now you've said that, actually, when I was in primary maybe, or secondary school, I can't remember. When I was in school, there was a girl I sat opposite in maths who was a massive Leeds United fan and loved Alan Smith, like loved him, like had stickers of him on our workbooks and stuff. So I never.
He loved his hair as well. He always changed his hair. Can you do this picture? I'm like, really? He pulled it off every time. When you put a 3 or 4, you go.
When you're playing in a midfield with Nicky Butt, I mean, you just do what you can to not look.
Yeah. Pete, who have you got in the middle?
I've got Scotty Parker. Come on,
Oh.
he is absolute dreamboat. He lost his 2-3 front teeth for Newcastle in one match, and he still looked good. So look, if you can look good with no teeth, with no gnashes, that's pretty decent work, to be quite frank. Johan Kabay. I'm trying to think. Jonas had a soft spot for Jonas because he had everything. He had a mask hidden in his shin pads or his pants, and and he had various different changes as well. Obviously, when he came back after his illness, he'd shorn all his hair, and he had this beautiful tight sort of crop, and was covered in tattoos. Just cracking stuff. Lovely old job. I love Jonas, but and I mean, we've got. I'm trying to think who else I've got in midfield. Les Fernand's already in our midfield apparently, so I'll have to push. So I'll have to choose some extra forwards, but I'll leave Steve Bruce for the next bit. Yeah, exactly. Look, very flexible. Like you wouldn't have Les Fernand in midfield right now. Good Lord, I would.
So for the people's choice, 3 of them have already been said. 1 of them hasn't had a mention yet. So we've got Robert, we've got Ginola, we've got Kabay. And then a bit of a wild card, Hugo Viana, which I would never have thought of myself, but once it was said, I was like, actually, Hugo Viana, yeah. So I was fully on board with that.
Remember when West Ham signed that lad Danny, the Portuguese kid, and I think the manager Harry Redknapp, I think, said he didn't know whether to start him or have sex with him, but he didn't say. But I always thought Hugo Viana, and to a lesser extent, like players like, oh God, who was that goddamn guy? Doesn't matter. Anyway, I thought Hugo Viana was our version of Darnie. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Hugo Viana. I thought that was a very, very good shout. Obviously, Ginola had to be in everyone's. I mean, we couldn't have done a Dreamboat special because of Ginola's birthday and then just not put him in the starting 11. And then our forwards. Laura, who did you have?
Shearer. But now though, because I quite like I'm a massive Bruce Willis fan, so I quite like the golden head.
He's another one that's aged well, I think.
Yeah.
He's another one that's got better with age, definitely.
Yeah. And Wilson, just because he's the new boy, and I like him.
He's got a lovely smile, hasn't he?
He has, yes.
Paddy, who are you thinking up front?
I've went for the dentist dream, Wilson. And I mean, both of them, beautiful. Their smiles.
Beautiful smiles. No one's mentioned Miggy. Beautiful smiles and no one's said.
He's too nice.
I know, and yeah, he is. He's too nice to be a dream.
Even when he scored the day, he was a little bit shocked.
Yeah.
Did I?
There's fans there.
Oh, I know. Bless his heart. Pete, who forgot up front?
I'm not having Les Fernand, so I'm going to have... look, he's too big to fail. He's like Northern Rock. Joe Linton. Like, he is a good-looking guy.
He is.
That smile. Oh, mate. He is unbelievable. He's an unbelievable fox. But,
he is a good-looking man.
Yeah. Football. An unspeakable talent when it comes to football.
But here on ExtraTyne, all will care about the looks, so it's fine. He's in the starting 11. So the people's choice for our 2 forwards, we had Celez, obviously, and another one who I would never. This credit to Vic for this one, because I would never have ever thought of it. And once she sent me the picture, and I started Googling him, and I was just like, you know what, I've missed out on like. How I missed it when he actually was with us. Daryl Murphy. Oh my God. Like, absolutely, just I don't know how I never noticed when he was
I
Like-
got
I was
7 games.
here the whole time.
Yeah, like, yeah, Daryl Murphy. But so Vic, if you watch, that's for you. Daryl Murphy's in there. He had to be. He had to be. I did think I was going to say Shearer just because I feel like you kind of have to, but also because I think, but he's like I just said, he's so much better now than what he was. Like my mum's fancied him since like the dawn of time. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Andres Anderson again. He was good. Blonde.
Who was that? Sorry.
Andres Anderson, blonde curtain, fantastic.
We're like the blondes on here, don't we?
All together would have been unreal.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to do a blonde 11 next week.
And people,
And then we'll rate the Amiobis. Who's the most handsome Amiobi? Is it Tommy? Is it Sammy?
All of them. But yeah, so I mean, we've covered all of them there. But I know Laura, you had a subs bench and then some. So
that's why Ferdinand was in the middle. I just ran out, so I've got subs bench and everything. So I've got 4 subs. So I went for Lascelles, just similar to Wilson. I had Alan Smith in my subs bench because I loved him when I was younger. Yedlin, I was a big fan of Yedlin, and I'd love to move to America. So, and Ryan Taylor.
Yeah, Ryan.
Just good crack and like down to earth and stuff, and just nice bloke.
So
I had Papa Vasilou on my subs bench.
I don't remember what he looked like.
Papa Vasilou, it was beautiful.
You know what? I should have had my phone. I should have had my phone ready. So whenever we didn't know, I could have just got a picture of.
People will know.
People will know. Jan Matty. He's a bit of a Jan Matty about Nicky, yeah.
No, never mind. I also had a manager, and mine was also the same as yours, Laura. It was Pardew, even though he's a bit of a bell end, but I also had Pardew in there as well.
Yeah, Silver Fox.
So that's it, Silver Fox. So we're like we seem to like light hair on here.
Yeah.
Apparently, who knew? But yes, that's our Dreamboat 11 in honour of the one and only Mr. Handsome himself, David Ginola. So I'm going to bring you back down to earth with a bump now. We've got Everton on Saturday, dinner time kick-off, and then we've got Palace on Tuesday. Oh, joy. Absolutely. I almost don't even want to talk about it. Laura, I can't remember what our predictions were last week. I don't even know if did we get them right?
No, I said 2-1 Newcastle.
Oh well, there you go. Oh yeah, you were very optimistic.
I was, yes.
But yes, Saturday sees us go to Everton dinner time kickoff, like I just said. They are coming off the back of a draw with Leicester. So Laura, have you got any hope for the game on Saturday?
In a word again, no. But it was quite sad looking back because I didn't realise that. I couldn't remember because all the games have just blended. But we actually beat Everton and Palace in my last games. So we beat Everton last time. So there might be slight chance, but I think it's going to be down to who he picks again. Surely he can't go 5 at the back again. I mean, he went 5 at the back against Leeds, who have conceded 20 away goals. It was just, does he not do any research? Like, surely he has to start. I mean, I know it's a football game, but if Pickford starts, I really think you can get into his head. And I do think, I'm not saying that Andy Carroll should start. I do think, but I think he would be perfect to bring on and wind Pickford up something rotten and just be and like what you said about Maximum earlier, a nuisance, just a complete nuisance. But I think as well, and I wasn't too sure how to say this in case it doesn't come across well, but Bruce, in terms of a manager, he's kind of got nothing to lose in the sense that he's like a walking dead man at the minute, surely. So he's got nothing to lose. 5 at the back doesn't work. It only works if you don't concede goals, and we concede goals. So change it and attack. We're on a relegation battle, so I get that we've got something to lose in that sense. But in terms of him, he's just walking the line at the minute. So just go for it. Like, but I mean, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin scare me, so I am a bit nervous.
They scare me as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Paddy, do you think that because it's Pickford, do you think we stand a chance? Because it doesn't seem, it's as if he can't handle Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's obviously that's like on a personal level, and that's a personal problem for him. But I get the impression from games in the past that he doesn't know what to do with Newcastle. So does that give you a little bit of hope for Saturday?
Yeah, it does. I think, like you were saying before about bringing Andy on, I mean, Jones a good lad. I know him. He is switched on when he wants to be. When he gets to Newcastle, he makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Does it get too much? Maybe it does.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he is growing with it, and he does like that. With having no fans in that stadium,
Mm-hmm.
it's a massive difference for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem I've got with this. Him and Andy, with no fans, he plays up to the fans. You know he does.
Mm-hmm.
But I think put Andy in there, and I think it's a great bit of chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be
And
good
that's
viewing.
player banter, not fans banter. That's where Jordan always goes and makes mistakes because he gets involved in the event.
Yeah, I think the occasion gets the better of him when there's fans in. So it could make the difference.
I know he's coming off the back of a pretty big error which cost them the goal. Pete, I don't know if you saw the goal that they conceded the other night. Do you think, given what we've just said about the occasion as well, do you think his confidence might be shot from the game against Leicester?
Well, I mean, I think any side facing off against table-topping Newcastle United will fear the occasion might get to them. But Pickford's kind of ruck in his last match against Leicester. I mean, Leicester weren't playing with any strikers. Let's make that very clear. And he, I think if he'd have just got it past that post, it would have been regarded as being a pretty decent, pretty tidy save. But yeah, he's just got some very weak hands, and obviously last time out against Newcastle, he's sat in his own net trying to save the ball, and that's how he scored. So look, Andy Carroll on occasion this season when we've seen him, and I love watching Andy Carroll play. I know he's probably not had the best season in the world, but it's a miracle we're getting any minutes out of him at all. He loves a shot from distance, as does Fabian Schär. Get him whacking the ball from distance, and let's warm those gloves, or not in Pickford's case, hopefully. So look, you just want to get in the box. It's just we just don't touch the ball in the opposition box, and if we can just do that, we got a chance. But there's very few matches in the next 7 or 8, if indeed there are that many left, where you think we're going to get anything out of them. It's only Palace, to be quite frank, in this run. Yeah,
so that brings us on nicely to Palace on Tuesday. They've just lost to West Ham. Palace are relegation rivals. Let's not beat around the bush. Laura, how do you feel? It's because it feels like all the teams around us are starting to pick up. I know I've just said that Palace are off the back of a lost to West Ham, but it feels like all the teams around us are starting to pick up a little bit of form, and we're not. So can you see us getting anything on Tuesday? Or
but I don't mean to sound like a player or a manager, but I can only see one game at a time. I find it hard. I think I said it last week, I think the Everton game will then affect how the Palace game goes. So I find it hard to look ahead. However, you have said, you're right, they're on poor form. I think they've only beat Sheffield United, and that's the only team they've beat in the past month or whatever. So I know there was a tweet saying that if a team are struggling for form or struggling for a win, we're perfect to play them. And from our upcoming fixtures, the only one in my head I could say we're maybe getting something was Leeds. So, and that never happened. So, and again, the same with Everton, Zaha and Benteke, the scarers again, same as Everton's strikers. And I don't know how we'll be able to, if we're set up defensively, handle them for 90 minutes. You'd have to be at the top of your game, and I don't think confidence-wise we are anyway. So I find it hard to say anything from it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, our fixture list doesn't make for pleasant reading, and when you consider that we've got, from the last 27 available points, we've picked up 2, and like I've just said, teams of Rambles are starting to pick up a little bit of form. It doesn't bode well, but I'll quickly, we'll get some score predictions off you. So we've got Everton on Saturday, we've got Palace on Tuesday. Laura, what are you going with for the 2 games?
I think we'll get beat at Everton. I think I'm going to say maybe 3-0. And then I'm going to... Is Palace at home?
I don't know. I have, you know what? I haven't even been paid attention whether we're home or away, because without the fans, it just feels like it doesn't mean much.
I'll try and be positive. I'm sick of being negative. It's dragging us down. So I'll say we'll beat Palace. I'll say 2-1.
2-1. Paddy, what are you thinking for both of the games? What's your predictions?
We'll beat Everton 2-1, and then we'll go and beat Palace 2-0.
Wow.
How much have you had a drink? I know you said earlier that you're having a drink. How much have you had?
I just think even the confidence of the players sharing stuff today in training, even that shows that guys been in one day and they're feeling that little perk.
I think it would be the most Newcastle United thing ever for us to come out on Saturday and absolutely spank them. Do you know, like, given how awful we've been, I would not be surprised if we'll win like 3-0 or something.
We always think, like, oh, they'll probably go and beat that team, and it'll be the time.
It will. And I think if we're ever going to do it, it's going to be against Jordan Pickford, isn't it? So, Pete, what are your predictions for the games? What are you thinking?
I agree with Laura. I thought our best chance was Leeds. Our best chance to pick up points was Leeds. I just, Everton. If we score, I won't be surprised, because obviously the keeper's a bit of a weak link. But then, I can't see us winning against Everton. I can possibly at home. I know there's no fans there, but sometimes that plays into Newcastle's corner a little bit. Yeah, I could see us sneaking a 1-0 against Palace, depending on what their personnel's like. The games are coming thick and fast. We're playing Saturday, then we've got obviously that match is on Tuesday, and then we've got another one at the weekend. Teams who are in the survival spots, they're going to need to start to not rotate players, but just really look after them. Because you don't want to get to another couple of games and lose some of your best players. So it depends on what team Roy the boy brings to St James's Park, to be quite frank. But yeah, I could see us possibly getting something against Palace.
Would be nice. We said this last week though. Just a point would be nice from anywhere. Part of us is thinking we're going to get absolutely torn apart on Saturday, and then the other part of us is thinking Jordan Pickford's in goal. So I'm going to say I think Everton will win 2-1 on Saturday, and I think we'll draw 1-1 with Palace on Tuesday. But we'll be back next week to do the same again and talk about another 2 defeats in the world of Newcastle United, no doubt. Thank you so much to my 2 Dreamboat guests for this evening. We've had Pete and we've had Paddy. It's been an absolute pleasure, lads. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you
guys. Fun.
Thank you very much. And as ever, to my Dreamboat co-host Laura, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. It's been nice to talk about something positive. Hopefully we'll be talking. Hopefully we'll be positive again next week, and hopefully it'll be off the back of picking up a couple of points. Let's see. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. I will see you next week.